Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess, and we do these live streams every single weekday. So if you are new here, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. Good morning, PG. Good morning, Matthew and Alexandra. Thank you very much for coming on. As always, we've all got big smiles on our faces this morning because once again, Bitcoin is pumping on the Monday morning. So we are up 10% within the last week for Bitcoin and 13.8% in the last week for Ethereum. Now, in the last couple of 24 hours, Bitcoin has been once again outperforming Ethereum, but they've both seen really nice price action moving to higher prices. In fact, Ethereum is touching that $4,000 price point. In fact, it's significantly above that now to $4,040. And we are seeing Bitcoin above 71.5k as well. So very nice price action here. As Jason's saying in the chat, what a weekend. Amazing price action here. If we take a look at some altcoins, you can see some altcoins have been pumping insane amounts as well. Theta has been doing very well within the last couple of days. We've been talking about this on the kind of the top performers last week. That is an insane pump for Theta. Theta focuses on decentralization in media streaming, in video streaming. So interesting to see that pump. That was a token that was around in the last cycle, one that I was very much interested in the last cycle. So it's interesting to see that it's coming back to life here. In terms of the biggest losers, we're looking at two of the centralized exchanges tokens, HT and OKB from OKX and Huobi, both down. OKX's tokens down almost 6%, Huobi's tokens down over 12%. And then we've got the Graph and Gate token there as well from Gate.io, centralized exchange. So centralized exchange tokens aren't performing too well today. We are seeing BNB down as well, over 2% within the last 24 hours, but that's just a small pullback because it is up 25% this week. So we're seeing big changes in the markets right now. Big movements in the markets. It's very, very nice to see. One thing that I know you'll all know that I'm happy about is the Chainlink price, because Chainlink is up another 7.4%. This is one of my favorite projects, so it's brilliant to see some success there. Let's take a look at what's going on the charts, though. Go into a little bit more detail about this before we take a look at the cryptocurrency news. Before we do that, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We do these live streams every single weekday, and I would appreciate it if you tune in with us every single day. Gregor says, when big correction? I mean, I'm not counting on it. It's been an interesting ride this last year. I think there is possibility for corrections in this bull market, but I'm not counting on one to come just yet. But let's take a look at what's going on here. So if we take a look first of all at the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, you can see on the daily chart, we did see a little bit of a correction here, but we are overall seeing what I believe to be a ascending triangle. If you take a look at what's happening here, sorry, let's just get rid of that. If we take a look at what's happening here, we are building a level of support on this chart. And this indicates to me that we could see a breakout to the upside and we could see Ethereum start to outperform Bitcoin within the coming months. Now, I think this massively depends on what happens on the 23rd of May. That is when we are going to hear from the SEC and their decision on whether an Ethereum ETF should launch. If an Ethereum ETF launches, we could see some insane price action like we have done for Bitcoin, and if it doesn't, maybe we'll see a little bit more of a correction on that chart. Let's take a look at what's going on for Bitcoin versus the US dollar here this morning. So Bitcoin is at $71,560 right now. On the hourly chart, we've got as high as $72,236. Huge price action there. We have seen a small correction on the smaller time frames here, but hopefully we can continue to go and make new all-time highs every day this week. That would be absolutely brilliant. If we take a look at what's going on for Ethereum here, I did discuss in a stream last week, Ethereum is still If we go from the all-time high at, what price point is that? At around $4,890, you can see we're about 17% below that on the Ethereum chart. Now, typically, if we look back at previous cycles, Bitcoin hit a new all-time high in the previous cycle at around, if we pull a line across here, no, that's not a horizontal line. We want a horizontal line. Why is TradingView not giving me a horizontal line? Let's try this. There we go. Now we've got a horizontal line. Bitcoin created a new all-time high, broke through the all-time high and started to make real new all-time highs on the 16th of December 2020. Now, if we take a look at the Ethereum chart and we zoom back in the same sort of manner, what did I just say? December 20th? I think I did say December 20th. If we take a look here, this didn't happen for Ethereum until the 2nd of February. So we're looking at about 7 weeks there. 6-7 weeks between Bitcoin making new all-time highs and Ethereum making new all-time highs. Now, if we go for the Bitcoin chart, and this is to play out again, we can see that obviously Bitcoin is making new all-time highs right now. It has been doing so, I would say officially, if this candle can close up here today. So if that pattern repeats, we're looking at 6-7 weeks of Ethereum really climbing up and retesting that new all-time high. But with these Ethereum ETFs underway and the potential for that, we all know anything is possible, and these ETFs can impact the markets a lot more than even what we expected. I was coming on these live streams every single day and saying, this is so bullish for Bitcoin. If these ETFs go over the line, it is a massive milestone and one we've been fighting for an incredibly long time. And I was so bullish on those ETFs, but I can't say that I was as bullish as this. The price action has been absolutely insane. So I think it's so important for an Ethereum ETF to get over the line. On May 23rd, we will be reporting on that here on the channel every single day in the lead up to that and on that date. So make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the bell notification button so you don't miss those updates, because it's been a wild ride for Bitcoin, and I'd like to see that happen for Ethereum and potentially some altcoins this year as well. Let's take a look at what's going on in the chat right now. Starting from the top, good morning, Rob. Good morning, Matthew. I love today's thumbnail, says Matthew. Thank you very much. Good morning, Lee and Gregor. What a weekend, says Jason Smith. Matthew B says, update today again, and again. Paul Thomas, morning, people. Happy days. Let's see what's going on here. We've read through these. Monkey Nuts, correction just... Ooh, why would it let me scroll? Where did that go? Correction just before $100,000? I mean, $100,000 Bitcoin is just going to be insane. If that happens, I can't tell you it's going to happen because I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you financial advice. We can't say anything with certainty. But if that day does come, which it could very soon, I will be very, very happy. We'll have to throw a Bitcoin party. Let's see what's going on here. Rob says, looking forward to seeing what happens at 2:30 when American markets open. Yeah, we might see some volatility at that time. Let's see what else. Good afternoon, James. Good afternoon, Rob. Thank you very much for tuning in as always, and Save with Crypto. Let's take a look at what's going on in terms of liquidations on the Bitcoin chart, because this is something that was making me slightly nervous on Friday's stream that you will recall. We had some liquidations both above and below the Bitcoin price, and we were saying on those streams, look, it's quite likely that we are going to liquidate both of those traders, and we're going to see a wick both to the downside and to the upside, and that is exactly what we've seen. So when we're looking at this chart, we're looking for those yellow zones, and they are price points at which, if Bitcoin hits those points, a lot of traders will get liquidated. That's exactly what's happened there. So we wicked that lower level, liquidated the long traders, and we've gone to the upside, liquidating those short traders. Now, we all know that Bitcoin takes the path of most pain. I think if you are looking to trade and predict the short-term price action for Bitcoin, this is one of the most important charts right now. This has been so accurate over and over again within the last week, so last couple of weeks. So make sure to check out this chart for short-term price action. We are going over it every single day and taking a look at what's happening with the prices here. So you can just tune into us and hear my opinion on them if you do prefer. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the crypto news here. In terms of the fear and greed index, we are at 82 here. If we take a look, we were as high as 90 last week, so it's nice to see this come down slightly, but I imagine like this is going to stay in extreme greed now for a while until we do get a pullback. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Lee says, well, you can say that, Jess. I don't know. I don't think our legal team would be happy with that. Jason Smith says, wind the clock back to Jan 10th when the Bitcoin ETFs were launching. Everyone was leveraging huge longs on Bitcoin at current date. Maybe we were all just early to the party. We were here before BlackRock. We can't say we weren't early anymore. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. James says MicroStrategy bought 1,200 Bitcoin Feb March so far. Yes, indeed, we will be talking about this in today's stream, so make sure to stay tuned. Let's see what's going on in terms of the Bitcoin monthly returns, because February's come to an end, and February we saw a 43.55% increase, which is absolutely insane. Hold on. Let me check everything's working properly here. We've got this article here, so let's pull this in. We can't share the article. Here we go. This is what James is talking about in today's stream right now, in the live chat right now. MicroStrategy has bought an additional 12,000 Bitcoin worth $821 million. I believe this is a cash purchase, buying more and more Bitcoin. This is the company of which Michael Saylor used to be the CEO. Now he has another position in the company. I can't remember what his current position is, but essentially, MicroStrategy are buying dollar cost averaging in continuously. We have seen Michael Saylor say that he is going to continue to buy the top and that Bitcoin is a superior asset. He does not plan to take profits because he does not believe that investing in real estate or taking profit into fiat currencies or gold or silver is worthwhile when Bitcoin is around and Bitcoin is an asset to be invested into. So he's been super bullish on this. MicroStrategy are still buying the dip constantly, or buying the pump constantly as well. They've been buying as high as $69,000 in the previous cycle highs and as low as $16,000 in the previous bear market lows. So they've just been buying and buying and buying, and they are continuing to do so. Just because Bitcoin's pumping doesn't mean they are stopping, essentially. But let's take a look at what else is going on here. I wanted to take a look at the monthly returns here because we are now in March, and March historically has been quite a mixed month for Bitcoin. It's not been super bullish, it's not been super bearish. Now, I personally believe that we could finish March in the green chart. I'm very careful about what I say on these streams because you can't speak with facts because nobody knows what's going to happen. But we are currently up 16.79% for the month of March. Hopefully this continues and we get some nice price action here. We are on the run up to the Bitcoin halving. We have 39 days to go until the inflation rate for Bitcoin is halved, until we get closer to that supply crunch where we see the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges drop dramatically, and we see BlackRock and VanEck and all of the Bitcoin issuers buying about 20 times the amount of Bitcoin that's being added into circulation every day if those inflow rates continue. So essentially, every single time a block is added onto the blockchain, 6.25 Bitcoin is added into circulation. In 39 days, this is going to go down to 3.125 Bitcoin. And this equates to around 900 Bitcoin per day right now, but only 450 Bitcoin per day in 39 days. Now, the issue with that is BlackRock and other Bitcoin ETF issuers are buying up in total, as all of them together, they're buying up around 11,000 Bitcoin per day. So right now they're buying up 10 times the amount of Bitcoin that's added into circulation. In 39 days, they'll be buying up 20 times the amount of Bitcoin that's getting added into circulation every single day. Now, what happens there? Because the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges is dropping dramatically and the demand for Bitcoin is increasing, increasing, therefore we're seeing this price surge. Now, when this becomes even more drastic, when the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges becomes even lower, then we could see a shift in supply and demand and see a huge supply crunch and see the price of Bitcoin increase massively. Now, obviously, there are some factors to determine whether this will happen or not. We could see Bitcoin ETF inflows change. We could see the demand for Bitcoin ETFs change. Possible. We could see people looking to sell. We could just see the demand for Bitcoin drop off. But analysts are looking at this and saying, look, a supply crunch within the next 18 months, 14 months probably now. We read the article a couple of months ago now. It's pretty likely here. It's pretty likely. That's what analysts have been saying. So things are definitely heating up here. We all know how supply and demand works. If supply is low and demand is the same, the price is going to increase. If demand is even higher, then we could see a huge supply shock there. So interesting price action is coming here. Let's see what's going on in the cryptocurrency news here. So Bitcoin Analyst has posted his thoughts on the market and a full report on his Bitcoin cycle expectations. So I wanted to go through this article today, but before we do, please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've got 40 people watching on today's stream and only 22 likes, so please do better and hit that like button, press subscribe and turn on bell notifications so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We are finally over 4,000 subscribers here on the channel. At 4,009 subscribers, we want to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of March. That's the subscriber goal by the end of March. Please don't forget to tune in every single day. We go through what's happening in the news. We go through what's happening in the charts. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Good morning, good afternoon to everybody in the live chat today. Matthew says BTC, there's no second best. Matthew B also says MicroStrategy equals diamond hands. They definitely do. James says we are so early, we are sleepwalking into being fiat millionaires if you buy one Bitcoin. Matthew B says bell notification for every weekday. Yes, please don't forget to tune in every single day. We really appreciate it. And you're educating yourself about the cryptocurrency space. Put time and effort into educating yourself. It's super important. Let's take a look at what's going through this article in this article though. So the Bitcoin Analyst has posted his thoughts on what's happening in this Bitcoin cycle here. So let's go through this week. Dylan Leclerc posted a deep dive into his thoughts on Bitcoin and where it is positioned in its cycle. So supply distribution has started here. The first thing Leclerc stated was supply distribution had started for Bitcoin. He analysed how it compares to previous cycles at this point. The analyst noted that the spot ETFs were playing a pivotal role, scooping up 284,000 Bitcoin, over 1% of the total supply. I do believe that now Bitcoin ETFs hold more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy. This also converts to roughly 1.5 times the circulating supply. When accounting for GBTC outflows, the ETFs have had a net inflow of 160,000 Bitcoin. We can see that the analyst has said various on-chain HODL metrics clearly showed all-time high levels of supply constraint. From the most simple to understand, the percentage of supply last moved in N plus years, most hitting all-time highs. Despite the 100% bounce from 2022 lows, net accumulation was ongoing for much of 2023. So on-chain metrics are looking really positive here. Let's take a look at this. But with this rise to new highs comes the distribution of Bitcoin from early investors to late arrivals. So people that have been buying, obviously Bitcoin has surged massively within the last couple of months. We've seen Bitcoin go from $16,000 in December 2022 to trading above $71,000 in March 2024. That's only 16 months, and we're seeing what multiple is that? 4 times 16 is 40, 64, 5x almost, 5 multiplier. So Leclerc has stated that, however, at this stage, I'd say it's far from worrisome, nor by any means a red alert for bulls. New distribution began to occur at $1,000 in 2017 and $13,000 in 2020 during the run-up to new highs and started in early January this time around. The analysts then covered the catalysts that could drive Bitcoin to its cycle peak. The first one was the ETFs, which are still in the first 2 months of their issuance. And the second factor was the FASB accounting rule change, something Leclerc views as not being priced into the market. He believes that more and more companies could begin to acquire Bitcoin, increasing media attention and demand in the process. MicroStrategy's Leclerc says there will be copycats. Look, MicroStrategy have been accumulating Bitcoin for years now, but there will be others that potentially want to get involved and take on the same strategy after seeing MicroStrategy's brilliant performance. Now, the final factor that Leclerc has stated is, with the domino effect of Russia being removed from SWIFT, Leclerc believes it sent a clear signal to any not under the umbrella of USD hegemony. Multiple sovereigns are currently mining Bitcoin. Multiple are likely accumulating in secret currently as well. So we are seeing the demand for Bitcoin there. We are seeing Bitcoin ETFs accumulate a huge amount. Yes, we are seeing a little bit of distribution earlier in the cycle than expected, but he's saying, look, this isn't a buy, this isn't a sell signal just yet. And that is Leclerc from MicroStrategy with those views. So far, we are seeing these Bitcoin ETFs pump Bitcoin in the way that retail and institutional investors are now able to access Bitcoin and invest into it for the long term. And we are seeing asset managers like BlackRock changing their filings and paperwork to allow themselves to invest in Bitcoin related products with their own funds. So some people don't typically, most investors actually don't just choose individual stocks to invest into. Instead, they invest in a fund, and these funds are managed by BlackRock and other asset managers. Essentially, it's just a fund that holds multiple stocks, and you can go for a high risk fund, a low risk fund, a medium risk fund, and they all have the goal of increasing the value of your portfolio by investing in multiple stocks, taking on a specific amount of risk depending on what fund you're in. Now, BlackRock and other Bitcoin ETF issuers have said, actually, we want to get exposure to Bitcoin in some of these funds that we have. So some people that don't even know what Bitcoin is, don't even know what cryptocurrency is, have exposure to the Bitcoin price by investing into these funds. So we're seeing a huge amount of changes here, and if BlackRock even put 1% of their funds allocations into Bitcoin, it can massively surge the Bitcoin price, and this is what we've been seeing happening over the last couple of weeks. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. Rob says, reckon we will hit 75k at some point before tomorrow's stream. I hope so. James says there is a Bitcoin pump coming in before US markets open. And Rob C says, will you ever get Randy back on the stream now she's sponsored by Crypto Saving Expert? But I mean, she's welcome on any time. I will be inviting her on very soon, and I'm sure she will take us up on the offer. We had a brilliant stream last time. Last time I had Randy from Miss Teen Crypto on the stream. That was the day that CZ resigned. It was insane. We were live on the stream when that happened. Very fun stream, so I'd love to do it again. She is now sponsored by Crypto Saving Expert. So if you go and watch Miss Teen Crypto on YouTube, you will see the Crypto Saving Expert logo right front and center of her stream with a link in her description, trying to push more people to get educated about the cryptocurrency space. So brilliant partnership we've got going on there, and yes, I hope she will be on the channel very, very soon. Paul Thomas says inflation is cut in half. Sounds way better than miner rewards are cut in half. I'll use that. That's true. The inflation rate for Bitcoin is cut in half. A lot of people think that Bitcoin is a deflationary asset just because of that maximum supply. That's not true. It is inflationary, but every 210,000 blocks, which is approximately every 4 years, the inflation rate is cut in half, and we will get closer and closer to having 100% of tokens in circulation and have that really low inflation rate and have, James says in the chat, $72,000 Bitcoin has just been hit. $72,000 Bitcoin has just been hit for the second time. We did hit it earlier on in today's stream. We've not quite got there. We're at 71,989 on the Binance BTC USDT chart here. Slight rejection there. Let's go into the 1 minute chart and see what's happening here. We did get as high as $72,227 earlier on today, just 10 minutes before we came on stream. So hopefully we can have another crack at firing through that. We haven't really seen the price action that I like to see when breaking through an all-time high. Last time we saw Bitcoin breaking through $20,000, which was the all-time high from the previous cycle, Bitcoin moved insane. And I really wanted to see that again. But the problem there is, I don't think this price action is coming from retail investors and the hype and the excitement. It's coming from those Bitcoin ETFs, which is why we're not seeing a dramatic breakthrough that we typically see. This price action, I think Bitcoin really is for finding its fair market value here for this point in time. And that's why we're seeing such progressive moves to the upside with some consolidation in between. And we are seeing, like, if you go into the daily chart, we are seeing those big green candles just get printed one after another, but we're not seeing, we are seeing some consolidation along the way, which is really important. Matthew B says ETFs buying like 10 times the amount produced per day. Absolutely, they're buying around 11,000 Bitcoin per day. We're only seeing 900 be mined per day on average, and that is about to be cut in half to 450 Bitcoin per day. So huge potential here for a supply shock, but we will have to stay tuned for that. Moon Nambo says God Candle is loading, ... It certainly is. It certainly is. Let's take a look at what's going on here. I would like to highlight that if any of you are a CSC Premium member and you were in the stream that we had on Tuesday last week, I want to say, you will know what this exciting tool down here is. We've been using that a lot. I think TMG Trades has been using that a lot on the TMG has been using it a lot on his TMG Trades channel as well. So make sure to check out that out to learn more about what that sneaky tool is at the bottom of today's stream. But let's take a look at what else is going on here. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've got 31 likes on today's stream. Let's try and get that to 50 because we have 40 people watching right now. So we're on our way. We're on our way. But we have right now 4,011 subscribers. Thank you very much to whoever has just subscribed today. But please don't forget to hit that button if you have not already. We want to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of March. We would love to see that here on the channel. Let's see what else is going on here in the news. So this is a warning to NFT holders. There is a fake Magic Eden wallet circulating as an iOS app. Just be super careful about that. Stay up to date, use all official links. Make sure to go through the correct websites. Make sure to always check the URLs and make sure to follow links from a company's, a platform's, a project's social platforms. And just double check that all of the links are correct. So I always like to go through the Crypto Saving Expert website for links, or to go through the project's Twitter or Instagram profile for links. But just cross-reference that and make sure the same. Make sure the URLs are the same, and just be super careful. But let's carry on with the cryptocurrency news here. Some AI tokens may be overvalued according to Coinbase. So we've seen the AI hype really take a hold in the cryptocurrency space. AI tokens have been pumping massively within the last couple of months. The report highlighted that hype may be overextended compared to fair value here. So the research paper was published by Coinbase Institutional with research analyst David Han as the author. The report stated continued AI breakthroughs, particularly in generative AI, have resulted in heightened attention on the AI industry in recent years and present an opportunity for crypto projects that sit at the intersection between the two. So Han stated that crypto AI space has witnessed exponential growth. However, the report stated that Coinbase is cautious of the bold claims that some projects are making. In addition, Coinbase believes that the emerged trends in AI could make it difficult for crypto AI projects to gain adoption due to competition and regulations. In February, the UK government announced a pro-innovative approach to AI. Still, not all countries will favor AI, which could make it difficult for projects to comply with crypto and AI guidelines. I mean, when it comes to regulation of crypto, it's complex. When it comes to regulation of AI, it's complex. Being in the intersection between two, it's not a task I'd like to take on. It's not a task I'd like to take on, to be brutally honest. It's a challenge. But AI tokens, nevertheless, have seen a huge amount of hype and attention in the cryptocurrency space within the last couple of months. Coinbase report says our contrarian view is that the value potential for many AI tokens may be overstated as a result of broad attention on the AI industry, and that many AI tokens may lack sustainable demand side drivers in the short to medium term. And I think this is understandable. So the market could be experiencing a bubble, is basically what Coinbase is saying. I don't doubt that at this point. I don't doubt that. It's like when we saw the meme coin craze like 6 months ago. We see meme coins pop. But that money doesn't stay in there forever. People in crypto are here to make money. We're here to invest, here to find where the demand is, where the hype is, and make profits on that. A lot of us aren't here to invest and to use the projects. And I do think that's a problem in the space. I think that's a massive problem in the space where people are here to invest, not to actually use the project's utility. But that is the facts at the end of the day. People are here to make money. It's great to invest in the long term. But when it comes to AI projects, people are investing because there's hype, and the hype won't stick around, and therefore the money flow may not. This is why it's always important to take profits. We all know how this works with the meme coin phases. Meme coins perform really well, then it sucks out of that sector in the market to move on to the next one. And I think that is the same here. Yes, there will be some AI tokens that perform incredibly well and see some really nice price action and will be here for the long term, but we have to remember that investors are here to make money and to take profits. So obviously AI sector, huge amount of hype, but will these prices be sustainable? Will the AI sector continue to pump like this forever? Probably not. The hype will move elsewhere at some point in time in this cycle. It always does. But let's take a look at what's going on here. Actually, contrary to that though, we are in a bull market. So it's not to say these prices won't hold. It's not to say these prices won't increase. But I do think that the hype will move elsewhere. We're in a bull market which is strong enough to hold things up, but the hype will change. The sector with all the attention will shift. It always does. Matthew B says, you truly are a crypto savings expert. I truly am. Let's see what's going on here. Matthew B says, welcome. Jay Mizzle, good morning. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, very, very much appreciate it. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the news. But before we do, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We do these live streams every single weekday, and I'd appreciate it if you tune in with us every single weekday. Let's see what's going on here. So US prosecutors to appeal Do Kwon's extradition to South Korea. According to this report, the US government remains adamant in its quest to make Kwon face the legal consequences of Terra USD's $40 billion collapse 2 years ago. I mean, I think he should face the consequences too. But I think we'll move on from this article here. Rob says, great to see the buying pressure consistently overpower the selling of Bitcoin. It's just so strong at the moment. It really, really is. It really is. Let's continue with the news here. Optimism Foundation backs private $90 million OP token sale deal. So the new token sale comes less than 6 months after the Optimism Foundation offloaded 116 million OP tokens worth $157 million at the time. The Optimism Foundation, a non-profit organization behind the Ethereum-based Layer 2 scaling solution network Optimism, has entered a private deal that involves the sale of approximately 19.5 million OP tokens worth roughly $90 million at current prices to an undisclosed party. According to an announcement in the Optimism Governance Forum, the tokens will be subject to a 2-year vesting period after the sale. Due to the nature of the deal, the terms of the agreement remain undisclosed. So they're going to sell the 19.5 million OP in a private deal. Now they have made 95% gains within the last year. So really nice price action there. And nice to see these tokens being distributed in this way rather than selling them into the open market, because that can massively negatively impact the price. Let's see what else is going on here in the cryptocurrency space. So the Ethereum improvement proposal, what is the Denken upgrade? So Ethereum is constantly having new EIPs which are trying to upgrade the Ethereum network, make it more scalable, and just improve it in general. And we've seen this over and over again. We see these EIPs all of the time in a what's the word I'm looking for? On a mission to improve Ethereum. And I think this is super important because we can't just make these decentralized protocols and these platforms and just leave them forever and hope they will continue to be a success. We need them to constantly be updated. And this is why we saw Ethereum change from proof of work to proof of stake. This is why we are seeing these scalable upgrades, trying to improve the network as a whole. Now we are seeing the Denken upgrade, which combines two minor updates, the Cancun and the Deneb. Now, I've read through this article on a something similar to this on a stream before, so I'm not going to go through it again, but I am going to drop the link to this in today's live chat. So if you do want to check that out, make sure to take a look at that link. But let's carry on to the next one here and see what else is happening. So the pro-Bitcoin Senator Loomis drafting stablecoin bill in collaboration with Senator Gillibrand. Loomis is looking to create new legislation for stablecoins. So pro-Bitcoin Senator in collaboration with Senator Kirsten has announced an initiative to draft the legal regulations for stablecoins, and this is something we really need to see. We sit on these streams every single day and fight for cryptocurrency regulation and try and push this. And I think regulation of stablecoins is something really important as well. They are seen as two separate things in a way when it comes to regulation. We have stablecoin regulation and we have cryptocurrency regulation, and then we have Bitcoin. So they are seen as separate things, and getting these things regulated is important for growth. This isn't something that we can just hide forever and ignore forever. It is something that needs to hit the markets. But let's take a look at what else is going on in the cryptocurrency space, because I've got two super bullish articles here to finish off today's news, and then we'll go to the Bitcoin price and do a little bit of analysis there. First one here is Cathie Wood sees Bitcoin at $1 million sooner than 2030 after record ETF performance. So Wood stated that ARK Invest now considers the previous bull case target of $1 million by 2030 too conservative. If we take a look here, ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood recently declared that Bitcoin will surpass the $1 million mark well before the anticipated year of 2030, which was her firm's previous bull case timeline. This updated price target comes as a result of new institutional involvement and significant regulatory milestones, especially the US approval of the first spot Bitcoin ETFs. In an interview with the New Zealand Herald on March 7th, Wood shared that the introduction of spot ETFs marked a major turning point, signaling wider acceptance and integration of Bitcoin into the traditional financial system. The SEC approval and subsequent record-breaking performance of these ETFs has accelerated Bitcoin's value and appreciation timeline. Wood pointed out that major wirehouses like Morgan Stanley, the Bank of America, have not yet joined the institutional push for Bitcoin, suggesting that Bitcoin's price surge is still on the horizon. No platform that approved Bitcoin yet, so all of this price action has happened before they approve it, and so haven't even begun. Now, she said her $1 million Bitcoin price target for 2030, is too conservative. The company has revised its outlook to a figure significantly higher than the initial estimate, driven by new expectations for institutional participation, which could potentially more than double Bitcoin's incremental price assumption. So, we are breaking through the all-time high. We've surpassed $71.5 thousand. We are attacking that $72,000 level right now. We are trading above it as we speak, and we are seeing her say, look, we're looking at sooner than 2030 for a $1 million Bitcoin. Now, if we think about this, we're looking at this cycle being the 2024-25 cycle, and then 2030 would mean that we're looking at the next cycle on from this. A bull market, a bear market, and then a bull market. That's when it's been suggested that we would hit this price point. But now she's saying, look, it's coming sooner. It's coming sooner. And this I like to see. Cathie Wood is a smart woman, a very smart woman, a woman who's not scared to take profits, and a woman that's not scared to be bullish on such a controversial asset. So very nice to see these price actions. Randy says, good morning, Jess from Tulsa. Ethereum spot coming next. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. We are waiting until the 23rd of May to hear if an Ethereum ETF goes across the line, and if it does, there's a huge amount of potential for the rest of the altcoin market as well. It could be insane. Let's see what else is going on here then. After that really bullish price prediction, I want to share this with you because Bitcoin has surpassed silver to become the 8th largest asset by market cap. Now, this is mind-blowing. This is insane to think about. Bitcoin is now bigger than silver as an investment asset. That is the news that we've been waiting for and working hard for over 10 years here, trying to grow the adoption of cryptocurrency, trying to prove that Bitcoin is a legitimate asset. It's now the 8th largest asset by market cap, and it's surpassed silver. This is showing the legitimacy. This is showing that Bitcoin is here to stay. These kind of articles are what make me so bullish, and these are the kind of stories that we can take to people that still believe that Bitcoin is a scam and prove to them, look, this isn't just something that you can ignore anymore. We've surpassed silver. This is an insane title for the day. Very happy to wake up to this news today. I think I'm even more happy with that than Cathie Wood saying $1 million. This shows the legitimacy. This shows we're sticking around. And let's see what's going on here. Matthew B says, if Ethereum ETF is approved, do you think the inflows will increase a little or a lot? I think a lot. I think there's a lot of potential there. If the Ethereum ETFs get over the line, we can see the barrier for entry to invest in Ethereum come down like it has for Bitcoin, and we could see a huge amount of inflows, and we'd probably see a huge amount of companies applying for altcoin ETFs as well, looking for Solana ETFs, Polkadot ETFs, Chainlink ETFs. Huge amount of potential there if they get across the line, but they are a bigger challenge than the Bitcoin ETFs were, so we will have to see how that plays out. But let's take a look at what's going on with the Bitcoin chart here before we close off today's stream. I think the most important chart to be looking at here is Bitcoin is going up in a straight line, Ethereum is going up in a straight line. Right now, Bitcoin is outperforming actually, in the 4-hour chart, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. On the daily chart, Ethereum is slightly outperforming Bitcoin. But I think this is the clearest chart to be looking at here. I think we are in an ascending triangle here, so hopefully Ethereum does start to regain some dominance over Bitcoin there. On the Bitcoin USDT chart, we are seeing it move up in a straight line. There's really no levels to kind of highlight right now. We are in the zone of the unknown. We have no levels of resistance here in terms of the Bitcoin price. The only levels of resistance that I want to be looking at, or levels of support and magnets, are the liquidation levels. If we zoom out here, we don't have any. We literally don't have any. There's nothing to bring to you here other than we are in the zone of unknown, and the Bitcoin ETFs are pushing the Bitcoin price higher than we have ever seen them before in history. Cathie Wood is saying $1 million Bitcoin by 2023 is conservative, and we've surpassed silver to become the 8th biggest asset by market cap. I can't be any more bullish there. I can't be any more bullish. Matthew says in the chat, we also wouldn't have the grayscale outflows that the Bitcoin ETFs had to battle with. Very true, very true. And there's honestly so much potential with those Ethereum ETFs, but I do think they are a bigger challenge than the Bitcoin ETFs. We were pretty confident going into those Bitcoin ETFs decisions from the SEC that we were going to get approval. Analysts are still saying about 50% chance likelihood that an Ethereum ETF will get across the line in May. But we have the final decision date for the SEC being the 23rd of May. So we could hear now, but I imagine that we will be waiting until that date before we get an answer from them. But when we do, we will be taking a look at that on these live streams. Tim says 1 million by 2023. Am I rich already? I keep saying 2023. I mean 2030. I mean 2030. I wish. No, sadly not, but hopefully her predictions come true. It would be very nice to see that price action. But I think that's all we have for today's stream. There's no major liquidation points to be looking out for. If we go to the week, do we have any in the shorter terms? We have liquidated all the traders, so we're starting out a fresh week. Brand new. Let's see what happens this week. Hopefully it's a good one. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and we will be back here with another live